everybody, welcome to Conquer, the competition series of IIFT. In this episode, we have Surabhi Bhuyan, who is the national runner-up of TVS Credit E.P.I.C, the analytics competition. So, hi Surabhi. First of all,
Hi,
congratulations on winning so many competitions and making all of us proud. We are really privileged to have you here. So, how are you
thank you so
and
much.
what are you doing these days?
I'm fine. I'm utilizing my time in cooking these days. So something making my mom very happy. So yeah, that's how.
Very
So
good.
tell me about the competition, like how was it structured?
So for TVS credit or any other data analytics competition, it is pretty different than all the other competition that you will be taking part in, because this is one of the competition where all the generic structures that you have learned, that you have to do the primary research and the secondary research and all, and those kind of thing goes out of the window. Poof. So you don't need that. There are two basic parts I would like to say. One would be the technical one, and the second one would be the applicability, the business sense of data analytics. So yeah, it is mostly structured like that only. The first one would be the quiz round, and second one would be, I think, submitting a 3-slider or 1-slider, depends upon the competition. And once you get through, it would be a longer presentation, like a 6-slider PPT or a 9-slider PPT. So that's the structure for the competition.
Okay. So we as MBA students, this is something little technical for us, right? Getting into analytics. So what would you suggest for somebody who doesn't have a background of analytics? How should they approach the problem?
I would love to tell you the answer for it. First of all, I think that 90% of the MBA students are scared of the data analytics competition. The data analytics thing scared the shit out of people, that we don't know, probably it would need a lot of coding or something like that. For some of the competition, it's true. It might need your expertise in platforms like Python or R or something like that. If you don't know, obviously you can't learn it 5 days, right? So I would suggest that do take part in these competitions. And how to handle the further journey is, you can use the already written codes at Kaggle platform. Sometimes, if you are in luck, probably just tweaking a little bit of code in those platform, your data would be able to go through. Now, in order to make sense of the data, you have to do a little bit of research, not exactly research. There is this amazing site called Towards Data Science, this website. You go there and you start reading a little bit about data science. They do not use any kind of technical words or descriptions. So it's very story like. You could just read it and it would definitely entice your interest. So yeah, if you are someone who does not have a data science background and still wants to gain some insights about it, take a part in the competition. If you have no coding experience, use the platform Kaggle for it. For most of the smaller competition where the prizes are like relatively lower than the corporate ones, sometimes you get the entire code on the Kaggle platform itself. So the coding thing is done. After that, what you have to do, suppose you get all those numbers, that R value is this much, accuracy is this much, precision is that this. Now you have to do the normal Google research that we do in order to understand that what exactly these value means to a business and how would be the applicability. That goes for the next step.
Okay.
So as you have multiple accolades in this corporate competition, I want to know that what do you say in questions that others don't, and how you proceed with question and problem statements?
Well, I was very lucky that I got to join a lot of finales. So I got like saw a little bit that people don't exactly, they're not exactly expecting 1,000 answers from you, or they're not exactly expecting a single answer that will make sense to everybody. So you have to figure out that how can I mold this problem statement so that I could support that single solution that I'm proposing to you, with all the data, with all the research, everything. So instead of putting all your fingers somewhere or the other, just focus on one. So mostly I do this, that the first slide that I make, or the presentation, it starts with showing that I am breaking this problem statement into 3 different parts: objective, task, and challenges. Objective is usually the business perspective of it. I would like to give a little example for it. So the TVS credit, the competition that I was part of, they wanted us to build a loan default prediction, so that if a new customer comes, based on the history given or the behavior data given of the earlier clients, whether they are going to make a loan default or not. So the objective is to enable TVS credit to determine which of how big, the customer base is going to be, the one who is going to incur all the losses for us, etc. That is the objective of it. That the task is to build a model, and the challenge is to whatever the data was highly imbalanced in this one, so that was the challenge. So I break it into this, and then we start the story that, okay, now the objective was this, we are doing this for that, task was this, the following slides will follow the task, those kind of thing. So I think that helps me, because suppose you are getting to see the PPT, then it simplifies my approach to you in the first slide itself. So I think that really helps.
Okay. Then, as you told about, you break down the problem into different parts. How much time do you allot to each of the parts? Suppose there's a research part to be done, then there's PPT making. So how much time do you suggest everybody to spend on each part of it?
I don't know if I can suggest something, but I'll tell you what exactly I do. I start on the PPT making thing from the day we get a concrete flow of it, that what exactly we are going to predict. If we have like a rough draft in our head, I start building it, because I know the ideas keep on flowing and coming and getting upgraded till the last moment. So if you keep the PPT making just that the aesthetics thing for the last 2 days, then those 2 days totally blocks your creative. Ironic. Aesthetically just making the PPT is not creativity, so it blocks it. So just make a rough draft of whatever you're doing, because the thing is, that you have just 3 slides, and the kind of research that you're doing, that might be of 15 slides content. You have to figure out what you are putting for what kind of visualizations would be nice. So I usually suggest, and plus this really keeps all your teammates active across all the days. If you keep telling them that, okay, today we are going to complete slide 3, next day slide flow, because once you lose that flow of it, I know you would have also felt that, leave it, we'll see.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, so not to inbreed those kind of laziness inside me, I try making it from the day one.
Yeah, because as a MBA students, we have a habit of pushing everything to a deadline. Like we start only 1 or 2 days before the actual deadline.
Yeah,
How
that's
you do
true.
it? Like you do it a week before, or like you get the question and you start doing it just straight away.
See, I have this kind of a thinking that if they have given us 20 days, then probably they're expecting a effort that is worth 20 days. So I start on the day one, because I know sometimes or the other you will take 1 or 2 days break. So or your teammates will. You can't work straight 20 days on one problem statement, right? And probably there will be 2-3 more competition that will be lined up on the same time range. So yeah, break it into small parts and then start on day one. Just an extremely small part. Let the first day would be just collecting similar PPTs, just to understand that how exactly the winning team of some other competition made that. So yeah, little every day. That's it.
Okay. In the analytics competitions, usually there is a thing called accuracy of the solution, right?
Hmm.
How much your solution is accurate. So does like how do you test how accurate your solution is? Because there is no thing as such science to it.
Oh, no. Data science model tells you itself how accurate your model is working. I mean,
For example,
that's a,
if the question is to predict
hmm,
the data for next 2 years, for example,
hmm,
so there are different models for it.
hmm.
So is it like you try and test different models and then you narrowed it down to something that is most accurate?
Yeah, so I'll share my deck with you. In that you can see there is a little workflow about step by step what exactly my model does. So the last step is called validation step. So usually what um, you get two types of data set. One would be test data, one would be train data. So in test data, you have this column which already tells you that, okay, this guy defaulted, this guy did not, etc. That's the target variable. Now you make a model, and your model, uh, what it does, it removes the target variable and tries to predict it again. And then you compare these two columns, okay, that what's the accuracy and all. So that's how you get your accuracy. Now there are different ways to increase your accuracy. One of the ways, as you said, was to try different models. So the thing is, in data science, you might think that making models like logistics regression, random forest decision for it, there are tens and thousands of models, might be difficult, but no, that's just a small chunk of model that you have to run. So you begin with researching a little bit, okay, that for this kind of model and this kind of data, what kind of model is good. Suppose you get 5 basic names, you just copy that code snippet from somewhere, run it, and then see, okay, each model is giving me how much of accuracy. You find, okay, this model is giving me 50% accuracy, which is bad right now, but that is the maximum of all the 5 models. You take that model, make it your baseline model, and then start doing all the other activities needed in order to refine the final outcome. And to be honest, the jury hardly cares about the final accuracy, because see, they would not be asking you about the code. Hardly. Like most of the time, they do not ask you about the code, they ask you about the PPT. So in PPT, if I write that my model was 99% accurate, there is no way to cross check it, right? So they are never going to question you about the accuracy of the model, but rather how your approach was. That's it. If you understood that what was the industry cutoff for it, what kind of, those kind of thing, because they are giving you a little bit of time to make a model. How could they expect 99%? Or I think everybody inflates their accuracy in the final PPT anyway.
What are the, like, what is the thing that jury is looking for?
Jury, I'll like to tell you something about it. So first of all, if it is a data analytics competition, don't make the entire PPT about data analytics, because I'll send you 2 PPTs actually. One would be my teams, and one would be another teams who have done like amazing work in data science. You would see their PPT and you would think, dude, these people are like pro in analytics and we know nothing. We know shit in front of them. But there was a tiny difference. See, whoever the jury is, they are not always from the data science background. Sometimes they might be from purely marketing background. I mean, there will be multiple jury, right? 1, 2, 3. So one person might be of data analytics, second one would be marketing, third one would be finance, probably, whatever. So if they think that your solution was gibberish because they did not understand a single word of data analytics, probably you're not going to win, because they're going to give marks, right? Even if they are not the data analytics jury. So always ensure that whichever competition you're going, whatever, let it be data science or finance or whatever, there should be one slide for recommendations, business implications, or like in mostly data analytics, I make this slide called cost benefit analysis. Yeah, that makes it real for people who are not in data science line. That was a huge thing that I learned.
Thank you, Survi. Thank you for such an insightful session. I think this is gonna inspire a lot of guys, at least motivate me to participate in analytics.
Thank you so much for making me a part of this. It was really amazing. I hope it helps.